Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to the series of lectures Physics class 11 and 12. In last some classes we discussed about the basics of rest and motion. In today's class we shall discuss about kinematics. Here we shall discuss some physical quantities that are required to discuss the motion. When we talk about motion, when we characterize motion, we must have some physical quantities, some measurable quantities, so that we can explain the motion. So we term it as kinematics. We have just divided some parts, some topics, and here kinematics means we shall not discuss the region of the motion. When we shall be talking about that particular particle is moving, we shall not talk about the region of that particle, why this particle is moving actually. So what happens? We do not talk about the region. Kinematics means है कि not considering a region for the motion. कभी हम लोग कंसीडर ही नहीं करेंगे. We never consider why this motion is happening. That is not the fact here. Not going into the details of the region about the motion. What we are doing, कि motion is happening. So how we can characterize the motion? So we need some physical quantities. My dear friends, let's start with a simple definition of distance and displacement, but after some time we get stuck because we do not have enough knowledge of mathematics here. So here, before proceeding to the next physical quantities and for their explanation, we must have some basic mathematics like basic knowledge of limit, basic knowledge of differentiation, basic knowledge of integration. Some basic knowledge are required. So first start with distance and displacement. Then we shall see how we shall learn about the basic mathematics here, because you will study in detail in the syllabus of the mathematics, but I am pretty sure that till now the students of class 11 have never learned calculus, a very beautiful subject. You have to learn there, but let's start see how we can define physical quantity. So some motion can be characterized with some physical quantities, like distance or displacement. Second, speed or velocity. Third one, acceleration. Fourth one, definitely time that are required. All these things are required to discuss the motion. We shall definitely start with distance and displacement. Now we can study here. We shall discuss about time. Everybody knows time, but we shall discuss here because something we need to discuss. When we talk about the time, how should we consider time? What are their effects? So we shall learn here. So let's start with distance and displacement. Distance and displacement. Now consider a particle is simply at position A and after some times it reaches to position B. So how we should consider it? See, the motion is going to start from point A. So when we talk about the start of the motion, when your observer starts commenting on the motion, and this is the instant of time from when you talk about the motion. We want to consider about the motion. That particular time is always denoted as t equals to 0. T equals to 0 does never mean that time is 0. No, this is not like that. Time is never 0. But what is this? When we start analyzing the motion, when you are in position, when observer actually is in position to comment on the motion of the object, at that particular instant, we denote t equals to 0. Once the motion is starting from here. Motion is starting from here. And after some time, it follows the path like this and reaches here. When? I don't know. At t equals to t. This denotes the time. This is the variable and this is the value. When we write t equals to t, when we write t equals to t, it denotes the variable. Variable time. Time is always variable. And this is the value of time. We consider this is the value of time. We consider. So at A, t equals to 0 and at B t equals to t means it takes t time, because t equal to 0 it has started and t equal to t. This t can have the value 5 seconds, 5 hours, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 seconds, anything. This can have the value anything. So it takes the time t to reach from here to here. In the same way, in this way particle can reach from here to here. But there is only one way that join it is a straight line distance. A straight line. from A to B. So when particle move from a point to another point, then there is a single path, that is a straight line path, and after that there can be lots of paths, infinite number of ways by which the particle can reach from A to B, but the shortest path is the straight line path. You cannot measure the path between A to B rather than the straight line. It has to be a straight line. So when we talk about a path that has the shortest length, the shortest length has the straight line always. We denote it with D. This is the path. So when you talk about the distance, it is the path length. It is simply the path length, the path traced by the particle from one point to other point. But when we talk about the displacement, this is the directed path, designated path, shortest path. What is this? This is the straight line distance between A to B, and it has the fixed direction. A straight line has fixed direction from A to B, but other path like this path, this is L. So the distance is a scalar quantity because it has no direction at all. From A to B there can be many paths, but displacement is a vector quantity. Why? Because it is a straight line distance, it is a single one and only one path. One and only one path. That has, it has the direction, and it has the direction, it has the magnitude, and it also follows rules. It do not follow rules of the basic algebra, it follows specific rules. That's why it's a vector quantity. So when we talk about distance, what is this? This is the path length traced by the particle. This is the path length. In example, this is what path. A, give the name O something, A O B, that is L, meter. Unit of length is meter, and it's a scalar quantity. So unit of distance equals to meter, and distance a scalar quantity. So it will follow simple algebraic rules. In the same way, there can be many paths, but when we talk about displacement, it is shortest or a straight line path between 2 points, it has simple shortest or straight line. It has to be shortest or a straight line path. This is the minimum value of the path. Definitely unit of displacement it is meter, and it's a vector quantity. it's a vector quantity. It is not a scalar quantity. So when we talk about 2 points A and B, the particle starts its motion. That's why we have written t equals to t, and it denotes that it takes time t to reach from A to B. When it reaches from A to B, there can be many paths. But you suppose from your home to your school, you can trace many paths to reach from your home to school. But when we talk about the shortest path, you have to draw a straight line directly from your home to the school. When you draw it, it becomes the shortest path and it has still one and only one value. कहने का मतलब है कि जब हम एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट तक पहुंचते हैं तो बहुत सारे तरीके हो सकते हैं. तो जो पाथ लेंथ है, जिस पाथ से हम लोग जाते हैं, उसका जो लेंथ है उसको हम लोग डिस्टेंस बोलते हैं. अब चूंकि बहुत सारे पाथ है, उस पाथ का डायरेक्शन हम फाइंड आउट नहीं कर सकते हैं. बहुत सारे डायरेक्शन हो सकते हैं पॉसिबल, इसीलिए उसको स्केलर क्वांटिटी बोला गया है. लेकिन उसी सारे पाथ में से एक पॉसिबिलिटी है स्ट्रेट लाइन पाथ, मतलब डायरेक्ट एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट. तो जब डायरेक्ट एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट की तरफ हम जाते हैं तो वहां पे वो सबसे छोटा पाथ होता है और उसका डायरेक्शन दिया जाता है डायरेक्टली वन पॉइंट को. तो डायरेक्शन फिक्स्ड हो जाएगा, एक सिंगल पाथ होगा, सिंगल पाथ का डायरेक्शन हम लोग डेजिग्नेट कर देते हैं. तो इस तरीके से डिस्टेंस जो है वो क्या बन जाता है, स्केलर क्वांटिटी, एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट जो है वो बन जाता है एक वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. ये सिंपल सा चीज है, आप लोग 9th में पढ़े होंगे. अब यहाँ पे कॉन्सेप्ट की हम लोगों ने बात की t इक्वल्स टू 0. t इक्वल्स टू 0 का मतलब ये नहीं है कि टाइम 0 नहीं, यहाँ पे इसको हम डिनोट करते हैं. डिनोट क्या करते हैं कि जब कभी भी हम मोशन को स्टार्ट करेंगे, जब कभी भी हम मोशन के बारे में कमेंट करना शुरू करें, जहां से हम मोशन को एनालाइज करना स्टार्ट करेंगे, उस इंस्टेंट को हम t इक्वल्स टू 0 बोलते हैं. अब उसके बाद ही पार्टिकल अब स्टार्ट ले लिया, उसके बाद ही कभी जाएगा, रेस्ट में रहेगा, वो किसी तरीके से मोशन करेगा, तो फिर टाइम का वैल्यू क्या होगा, बढ़ते चला जाएगा. यहाँ t इक्वल्स टू t, t इक्वल्स टू t का मतलब क्या है, t एक वेरिएबल है, यह टाइम को डिनोट करता है. इट डिनोट्स द टाइम व्हिच इज द वैल्यू ऑफ टाइम. मींस t इक्वल टू 5 सेकंड में टाइम इक्वल टू 5. टाइम t इक्वल टू 5 का मतलब क्या हुआ कि मोशन स्टार्ट होने के 5 सेकंड बाद. तो इसको नोट कीजिए, फिर नेक्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट को देखते हैं. आइए देखते हैं कि डिस्टेंस और डिस्प्लेसमेंट का क्या रिलेशन है. उसको जैसे सपोज कीजिए, बेसिक की बात कर रहा हूँ, फिर से एक एग्जांपल ले रहा हूँ. ए है, बी है, एक पार्टिकल इसी पाथ से ए से बी तक जाता है. तो ए से बी इसकी लेंथ एल मान लेते हैं और एक स्ट्रेट लाइन डिस्टेंस मान लेते हैं जिसको हम डी मान लेते हैं. देखिए सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन क्या बोलता है कि पार्टिकल मूव्स फ्रॉम ए टू बी and then B to A. Find distance and displacement. पार्टिकल A से B जाता है और फिर B से A आता है. तो जब A to B गया जी, तो इसकी लेंथ कितनी है, पाथ लेंथ L.
और जब B to A आया,
means when particle moved from A to B, it travel a distance of L, and when it returns back from B to A, it travels a distance of L.
so total distance 12
meter. So 12 meter. But when we talk about, this is the distance, we are talking about distance. Not talk about
displacement. A to B, what is this? D meter.
fine, but
B to A equals to what?
D, no. Why?
If we take this side as positive, this side as positive, we must take this side as negative.
This is the concept of the vector, just opposite. And displacement is a vector quantity, so we see that it is equal to minus D meter.
So total, so displacement equals to 0 meter.
Means if the start point and final point is same, distance traveled will never become 0, but its displacement is 0. Means if the particle has moved, the particle has taken some time, and its final position and initial position both are same. Final position and initial position both are same. The displacement is 0 because it is a vector quantity. So when we write displacement, we must consider the direction of the particle. The direction, in what direction the particle moved within a given time period. If particle is changing its direction, its displacement value will change. Simply change there. Doesn't matter how the particle move. It depends upon the path traced and the distance. But for the displacement, what we calculate? Initial and final. Final value minus initial value. When we consider final value minus initial value, it gives the displacement. So how we shall define displacement?
Now?
So displacement is simply
final position minus initial. We have to not bother to take the path. We have to take the final minus initial. Final position minus initial position. When we consider final position minus initial position in the vector form, it gives the displacement. Simple displacement.
that's right. Now
See some basics. What is happening? A graph can help us in tremendous manner to understand
and explain motion. ग्राफ का हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प करें. तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट निकालने के लिए क्या चाहिए हमको? फाइनल और इनिशियल पोजीशन चाहिए. मुझे देखना है कि पार्टिकल जब स्टार्ट किया उस समय पार्टिकल कहाँ है, और जिस टाइम पे मुझे बोला जा रहा है डिस्प्लेसमेंट निकालने के लिए उस टाइम पे पार्टिकल कहाँ है, दोनों को कंसीडर करेंगे। इनिशियल माइनस फाइनल का जो स्ट्रेट लाइन डिस्टेंस होगा वही स्ट्रेट लाइन डिस्टेंस हमको उसका डिस्प्लेसमेंट बताएगा। अब बात करते हैं, सपोज कीजिए कि आपको कुछ ग्राफ दिया जा रहा है, इस एक्सिस पे हम टाइम को कंसीडर करते हैं, इस एक्सिस पे हम लोग डिस्टेंस को कंसीडर करते हैं, डिस्टेंस या डिस्प्लेसमेंट को, डिस्प्लेसमेंट डी, ये टाइम है, कुछ कुछ वैल्यू होगा टाइम का, आप स्केलिंग कर सकते हैं इसको 5 सेकेंड 4 सेकेंड 8 सेकेंड कुछ भी ले सकते हैं। ये जीरो है, ये जीरो है। जब हम यहां से कंसीडर करेंगे इसका मतलब होगा कि टाइम इक्वल टू जीरो, मतलब जिस समय से स्टार्ट कर रहा मोशन, चाहे 10 बजे भी कर सकता है, 12 बजे भी कर सकता है, 15 बजे भी कर सकता है, जिस टाइम पे वो करेगा, एट द टाइम व्हेन पार्टिकल स्टार्ट, इट कैन स्टार्ट फ्रॉम 10 o'clock, it can start from 12 o'clock, it can start from 13 o'clock, 15 o'clock, anything. When the motion starts, that is the zero. But you can see, somebody asks, is this the possible graph? Yes, this is possible graph. This is possible. Possible. This is also possible. Why this is possible? Because time increases, the particle displaces from one position to another. You see, at that time the particle is this position, after some time after this one. Why this is? The time spending, but the particle is not changing its position. In this case, we shall explain it. This is possible value. Somebody asked, this one, this is also possible. Because at t equals to 0, the particle has already displaced from here to here. This value. It is also possible. This is possible, and this denotes the condition of rest. Because with time, particle is not changing its position. It is at the same position. T equals to 0 you are here, and t equals to t you are here. Rest, because not changing its position with ये रेस्ट को डिनोट करेगा। इस तरह का ग्राफ जहां कहीं भी आप देखेंगे, ये ग्राफ अगर ले लें, ये टाइम है, ये टी है, और अगर इसकी बात करें हम तो ये रेस्ट को डिनोट करेगा। लेकिन पॉसिबल है, रेस्ट एंड मोशन, ये मोशन में मोशन बोला जा सकता है, इसको पॉसिबल है। लेकिन यदि आपसे कोई पूछता है इस तरह का ग्राफ जस्ट पैरेलल टू ये भी पॉसिबल है। एक ग्राफ और मैं ड्रॉ करता हूं। सपोज कीजिए कि ये पॉसिबल है, यस पॉसिबल है, पॉसिबल, ये भी पॉसिबल है, डिनोट्स द मोशन, ये पॉसिबल है। ग्राफ 0 से था, कुछ टाइम पे इसका अलग अलग टाइम पे जैसे जैसे टाइम बढ़ रहा है पार्टिकल डिस्प्लेस करता है, तो उसकी पोजीशन चेंज हो रही है, तो वह मोशन में कहलाएगा। बट एक पॉसिबिलिटी आपको मिलेगी, जिस पॉसिबिलिटी में आपसे पूछा जाएगा तो इस ग्राफ के बारे में बताओ। ये क्या है कि पर्टिकुलर टाइम जो है यहाँ पे मान लेते हैं t1, t2, t3, t4, t5 एंड सो ऑन। यहाँ मान लेते हैं d1, d2 स्केलिंग कर देते हैं, d3। ये क्या था कि पार्टिकल के बारे में अगर देखेंगे तो t1 टाइम पे
t1 टाइम पे t इक्वल्स टू t1 टाइम पे इसका जो डिस्प्लेसमेंट है वो d इक्वल्स टू कितना है 0, और टाइम जो है वो फिक्स्ड बता रहा है। ये क्या बता रहा है कि टाइम t इक्वल टू, ये पहला सेट हुआ, दूसरा सेट भी इसी में क्या है कि t इक्वल्स टू t1 d इक्वल्स टू d1। ये पॉसिबल होगा क्या? एक ही टाइम पे पार्टिकल किसी दो पोजीशन पे हो सकता है क्या? नॉट पॉसिबल।
At the same instant of time, a particle can never be at two positions. दो पोजीशन पे वो नहीं हो सकता है। तो जब दो पोजीशन पे नहीं हो सकता है at the single instant of time, this is not possible graph.
Not possible. Not possible. Means when we draw, this is the time and this is the displacement. Remember it, this is time displacement, position time graph, time displacement graph. This is not possible case. Remember it, this is never possible, not possible at all.
Because why? Because at the same instant of time, particle is showing a different positions. It is not possible. The rest of the things are possible. All other case except this one, this red line, except that everything is possible.
This is not a motion. This is not a motion. यह मोशन है ही नहीं, मोशन नहीं है, इसको मोशन नहीं कहा जा सकता।
तो दोस्तों आज का डिस्कशन को यही तक कन्फाइन करते हैं। नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम लोग कुछ मैथमेटिक्स के बारे में पढ़ेंगे, जहाँ पे हम लोग पढ़ेंगे लिमिट के बारे में, जहाँ पे पढ़ेंगे हम लोग डिफरेंशिएशन के बारे में, इंटीग्रेशन के बारे में, कुछ बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट दैट इज वेरी मच रिक्वायर्ड टू डिस्कस some physical quantities and to apply the concepts in next of the lecture ahead. So we must have this will work as the tools. Mathematics is definitely working as the tools in physics. We apply it as and when, and in my method to apply application, my convenient way to analyze the things, to apply the things, that's why it is very much required. So we must learn it to show in the next class we shall be discussing something new in mathematics. Then after we shall proceed with the physical quantity like velocity, acceleration, and we shall solve lots of problem on it, the analytical way and the graphical way. What we shall do with the analytics, with mathematics, basic mathematics, we shall do it with the help of the graph also. Thank you.